Good afternoon, friends. Very tough to hold attention of anybody post lunch, but that's how my schedules are today. So my apologies for not making it in the morning half. I'll not take too much time. I've already had discussions with all the top game developers in a small roundtable that was being held, and I've only come here to kind of tell you that Government of India, as in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, we all consider game development as a very important economic activity, the activity which has huge employment potential, and in the global media and entertainment pie, gaming and the entire business of game development is now the fastest growing piece, and it's in this context that from Government of India we look at this segment as a very important sunrise sector, and there are initiatives which are now being planned. I have indicated upwards that in the roundtable that now we are coming up with the Indian Institute of Creative Technologies. The Union Cabinet has given a green light to a proposal to create Indian Institute of Creative Technologies, which is going to be acting as a national center of excellence for not just bringing in industry skills to all those who are interested in taking up the animation, visual effects, gaming, comics, extended reality segment jobs, but at the same time it will also provide them incubation support in case they intend to go up the ladder and become an enterprise themselves. Friends, all of you would agree that for us in our country, games have always been a defining feature of our culture and life. I mean, I still remember my days as a kid, and all of us were busy playing chess, all of us were busy playing Ludo, all of us were playing some game which were like making it on the floor ourselves, and that gives us the feeling that many of these games actually have emerged from our country, and it's a fact that Chaturanga and Chopad, as we used to call it, actually emerged from our country. So I think we have a rich tradition of developing games even before the IT age arrived in, and I think it's this culture, it's this mindset which can possibly now take us to the next stage and allow us to become world leaders in game development. We already have a huge demographic dividend. We have a young population that's growing that has growing interest in gaming, and so a huge market. And I think it's important that we create opportunities for this segment to grow, and from Government of India we are fully committed to provide all such opportunities. So as I speak to you, I also want to kind of tell you that after my presentation, there will also be a presentation by our team on the World Audio, Visual and Entertainment Summit. We're calling it WAVES. WAVES 2025 is going to be a convergence event across all the verticals of media and entertainment business, which includes the gaming segment, the IGDC segment, and of course the other pillars of media and entertainment, as you all understand. And another reason why we look at game development as a very important pillar for India is from the perspective of the soft power. The games that are going to be inspired by Indian culture, and the games that then go out into the world and are played by billions of people outside our country, also emphasizes upon the soft presence of our country, the rich cultural heritage that we have, and that's how that resonance comes in from many of those games to the cultural ethos of our country. Actually, in this context, when I was going around the exhibition, I realized that a lot of efforts are going on in terms of developing intellectual properties, which is very critical. I used to be here, working here in the state 10 years back in Hyderabad. In the IT space, I used to be the secretary here. And I used to always emphasize upon the fact that, look, we have become the IT powerhouse, but that is only in services. We need to become significant player in the world in creating IPs, our products. And I think that's what is going to bring us the bigger bucks. And that's where this particular segment has all the shapings of becoming a very important segment when I look at all these young people coming in from smaller towns, creating games and, making their products go worldwide. So friends, as all of you would agree, you would always require complete backup and support from the government when it comes to, running your own businesses. I also wanted to emphasize upon the point that a lot of people had these notions and trying to create this equivalence of what you are doing with what is being illegally done as, say, gambling or something like that. And I think all those notions have actually been dispelled. Our Honorable Prime Minister had a personal interaction with gamers in the month of April. Then in his Independence Day speech, from the ramparts of Red Fort, our Prime Minister made a clarion call that India should develop world-class animators and world-class gamers and world-class game developers, obviously. So it's in this context that you all would be knowing that we have already launched something called as Create in India Challenge. And the season 1 of Create in India Challenge is currently going on. And this particular challenge has large number of gaming tracks as well. And all these tracks are going to encourage innovation, and I would like to exhort all those who are in this room and outside to make use of this opportunity. Create in India Challenge Series Season 1 is currently on. If you have not noticed it, please have a look at it, apply for it, because more than 1 lakh people have already applied and registered for our challenges. And out of this we have a huge cumbersome task, but a very happy task of selecting few who will ultimately be part of the grand finale that will be happening in waves in February 2025. So it's indeed a momentous occasion that I could come and see all of you, meet all of you, look at the good work that you all have been doing, and you can take it for granted that from our side in Government of India will provide you complete wholesome support and will ensure that this sector does not just remain a sunrise sector, but it becomes a booming sector, a vibrant sector, a sector that not just drives your own professions, but at the same time it allows you to become job creators, become enterprises, become global enterprises, and I'm sure all of you have hooked on to this vertical with that kind of a spirit only. So once again, my congratulations and thanks to the organizers for giving me this opportunity. I would request my colleagues to make a presentation on waves and tell you what all it has for all those who would like to join in. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank Sanjay sir for taking time out, and for us it's a really great opportunity for all of us from the gaming community to put forth our thoughts about what is happening in our industry, what our problems are, and he has been kind enough to spend the whole day here, which is a fantastic thing, something which has not happened before, and I would like to really thank him for taking the time out and hearing us and promising us that whatever our concerns are and what we want, what we talked about, it has got a really patient hearing. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Good afternoon, friends. We'll have a small presentation about waves and the opportunities that exist with waves. Next slide, please. Okay, so we look at the media entertainment sector across the world, and it encompasses everything from films to broadcasting to gaming to AVGC, etc. And it is somewhere close to 2.32 trillion. India stands somewhere close to about 2.5 lakh crores out of this, which is still a very small fraction given the size of the Indian Indian market, given the size of the nature of content that we are developing, the nature of innovations that are happening in India. We look at, if we see how the world is looking at India, these are very recent statements. And looking at from AI perspective, whether it is immersive entertainment, whether it is interactive entertainment, whether it is development of films, development of the animation sector, VFX sector, we see that the world is looking towards India. The world is looking towards Indian creators. The world is also looking towards Indian innovators. So some of the examples are there in front of all of you. I would emphasize on one of this, that is Warner Brothers Discovery recently established this global capability center in India. So that is a huge achievement. It is established in 3 cities. It is across Mumbai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. Similarly, more and more companies are coming to India. More and more companies are giving jobs to Indians. Media, specifically in the media entertainment sector, there is a huge opportunity that lies. That Waves is going to be a platform to be exploited further. If you look at the digital age, India has almost leapfrogged various technologies to directly go digital. We are ranked 1 in the ICT services exports. We are ranked 7 in the intangible asset intensity. We are ranked 6 in the venture capital received. We are ranked 8 in the number of unicorn companies. So the moment is ripe for the Indian media entertainment sector as well to utilize this opportunity and to grow further and to make a global footprint from India. If you look at some of the examples, this is more from the film's perspective, but some of the biggest global blockbusters, a lot of back-end work, a lot of shots have been produced by companies based out of India. So apart from the companies and apart from the investments, if you look at the Indian content is making waves across the world. Indian content is ranging from games, ranging from social media creators, ranging from independent game developers, ranging from Indian individual artists, musicians, singers. They are getting popular across the world. So why waves? So that is a very important question that comes to the mind. There are lots of media entertainment events that happen across the world. Some of them are here in front of your screen. We are also at a prominent media industry event here at the IGDC. So most of the events focus either on a particular segment of the ecosystem or a particular sub-segment, or maybe they are content markets, or maybe they are only focused on award shows and film festivals, etc. Waves is going to be the world's first convergence event for the entire media entertainment sector. So what Waves is going to do is it is going to bring the entire, ranging from broadcasting, films, AVGC, digital media, streaming services, back-end production, distribution, everything under one umbrella. Second and most important component that I would want to emphasize here is that Waves is going to bring the global eyeballs to India. So there will be global companies that are going to participate at Waves, and I'll detail the more components about it and how the gaming ecosystem can benefit from it in further slides. So as you can see, I just mentioned about that it covers the entire M&D sector. So Waves, if you look at it as a government event, so it will be injustice to the entire property, entire summit that is attempted to be created. Waves, the government is providing a platform. We have to look at it as a platform, as a service, where the government will be providing the infrastructure, the required bandwidth, the required services that are that are required to bring the sector together, to bring global companies to India, to showcase Indian companies across the world. It is being run through multiple associations. These multiple associations are doing challenges. They are running their own conference tracks. There are other activities that I'll just detail in the further slide. So it's a 5-day event happening at the Bharat Mandapam, in the newly constructed Bharat Mandapam, where the G20 summit happened. The first 3 days are going to be business days, but there is a plan within the ministry that these days might also be open to the public. So one of the prime elements of WAVES is a tentative CEO's roundtable to be held by the Honorable Prime Minister. Here you will have people coming, global thought leaders, global CEOs, big companies from India interacting directly with the policymakers at the helm. So there will be a clear vision statement, there will be a clear outcome that comes out of interactions, so that more and more global companies come to India, they give work to Indian companies, more Indian companies get investment out of global companies, etc. Then there is going to be a global media dialogue, which is, if you look at it, the G2G interactions between the ministers. However, what can also be thought of is, if there are ministers from various countries coming to Delhi, and there are Indian companies, there are companies who would want to interact in side events. So those kinds of meetings can also be thought of, they can be developed. One of the more important parts is the knowledge track of the entire WAVES event, which is the thought leaders track, which involves plenary sessions by prominent persons, as well as the breakout sessions focusing on specific topics. So we can think of specific sessions related to gaming, specific sessions related to game development, maybe the gaming ecosystem. We keep on hearing about the issues of skills and so on. So all that can be brought together under one umbrella, so that the policymakers are there, the industry is there, and problems can be addressed. Coming to another important element, which is the creatosphere. So the creatosphere is for the creators economy. There is a misconception that goes on across the country, maybe also in some foreign jurisdiction, that creators are mostly on social media. That is completely incorrect, and the ministry does not believe in that philosophy. The creators are not only on social media, but independent game developers, independent artists, independent musicians. So there is going to be a creators conclave. Creators would have the opportunity to interact with companies, to maybe to distribute their IPs, to onboard their IPs on larger platforms, to have a global distribution. Also, there are 25 Create in India challenges that Secretary Sir already mentioned. So I will not repeat on that, but there are a significant number of challenges, 4 to 5 challenges, which are particularly related to gaming, and I would encourage all of you, all of the gaming enthusiasts, game developers, gaming companies here to participate and contribute towards the Create in India challenges. So it involves cash rewards, it involves mentorship, training, industry exposure, international collaborations. As I just mentioned, 27 competitions have already been rolled out. Coming to another element of WAVES, that is the WAVES Bazaar. So the WAVES Bazaar is going to be like a content marketplace. On the one hand, there are distributors, there are content acquirers, and on the other hand, there are IP holders. So if you have a gaming IP and you want to distribute it across the world, you want to distribute it through a larger platform, you want to distribute it through a major company. So there will be B2B opportunities, there will be opportunities for interaction, distribution, agreements, all through the WAVES Bazaar. This is a purely B2B arrangement, and within this, the government will act only as the facilitator. There will be an online space where the companies would be registered and the meetings can be requested among the companies and take things forward. Coming to the exhibition space, now we look at this in a, this is a very, if I say it in a simple terms, this is very close to the Indian side and the Indian M&E sector, because we want to showcase the best of the Indian industry at WAVES. So exhibitions, whatever technological developments are happening across the sector, whatever small companies are doing across the sector. So in gaming, we see developers coming out with games which are making hundreds of crores of rupees. So those kinds of technologies as to what goes behind making a game, how it is changing with the changing tech landscape, with the blockchain, with the AI, that all can be showcased at the exhibitions. There is going to be a gaming arcade. I'll emphasize on that part. Within the exhibition part, there is going to be a gaming arcade that is going to be built. So we request the support of all the gaming companies of India to actually come together, maybe through IGDC or directly, so that we showcase to the world as to what the gaming ecosystem of India is and where it stands. Wave accelerator. This is again an important element of waves, where the idea is matchmaking between investors and startups. So this is going to be thrown out, and after shortlisting of startups, getting their ideas, there are going to be live pitching sessions. But don't worry, it is not going to be a Shark Tank or that kind of a format. It is not a show, it is a purely B2B arrangement, where there are opportunities for investment. There are also, I would emphasize, there are opportunities for mentorship. There might be leaders in the various companies who want to mentor startups, who want to help startups, help them grow as a personal initiative. There is also an opportunity through incubation and acceleration programs within the government, not only the existing accelerators which are already up and running, but also in future through the IICT, the Indian Institute of Creative Technologies that Sir just mentioned. Then obviously after doing a lot of business, everyone needs some relaxation, and I believe everyone knows what this is about. So cultural evenings, there's going to be opportunities for Indian music, international music, artists coming across the globe, fusion, cultural events during the evening. So this is more or less the long and short of it, and we would love enthusiasm and enthusiastic participation as well as partnership, either through the platform of the IGDC or through companies coming here. We would also encourage global companies which have presence in India to bring in their CEOs, their global CEOs to India, so that they can actually experience what the Indian M&E sector, especially the gaming sector, is all about, and remove whatever misconceptions or preconceived notions are there. For any further communications, my number is available with the organizers of IGDC, that can be very easily taken, and the email of CEO Waves that we will also share. So thank you very much. Thank you for patiently listening. If there are any questions, I would be happy to answer. Thank you.